He's already proven that he does stuff like this, so don't give him an opportunity to take somebody else's family.
The family of one of Austin Drummond's alleged victims emotional outside the courthouse as the quadruple murder suspect sat shackled, surrounded by deputies. He is now expected to face the full weight of the criminal justice system.
Your Honor, at this time, the state intends to seek the death penalty.
We'll break down where the case of the man who triggered a manhunt that put Tennessee on edge goes from here, including his claim in court that he owned a business that entertained children. We're on the case presented by Law&Crime. I'm Chris Stewart. Today we saw a moment that many in Tennessee had been waiting for since last week, to see Austin Drummond inside the walls of a jail, not going anywhere. We learned some interesting things about Drummond in court today, one shedding light on how his criminal case could play out. It was clear as he sat in a room surrounded by 4 deputies at the Lake County, Tennessee jail during a hearing that his day-to-day is going to be very different moving forward compared to what his day-to-day seemed to be like during his decade in prison he was just released at the end of last year. This is video that Drummond posted on his Facebook page in 2023 during his stint in prison. He was serving time on an aggravated robbery conviction for holding up a convenience store in 2013. Now, frankly, you look at that video, it's more of a college dorm room than it is a prison cell. Not only did he post that video, he posted several pictures on social media showing what life for him was like in prison, playing video games, drinking alcohol, having cell phones, it appears. Law enforcement did hint that this time around things would be more strict on Austin Drummond. Obviously, the crimes that Drummond is facing are far more serious, accused of killing 4 family members and leaving their bodies in a wooded area in a rural county in Tennessee. They were family members of his girlfriend. The motive for him to shoot them and flee with their baby is still not known, but that baby is going to grow up without its mom or dad, both allegedly killed by the man who sat in the chair listening to the judge in Lake County this morning. Outside the courthouse, the family of Matthew Wilson, the father of that abandoned child, spoke about why it was important for them to be there and for Austin Drummond not to receive bond.
I let him out. He's already out. So what's the point of letting him back out? Yeah. He's already proven that he does stuff like this. So don't give him an opportunity to take somebody else's family.
Their whole family.
Because that's what I think people understand. He took them all. It's not just the loss of our son.
I know.
It's the loss of our daughter-in-law, of Braden, of everybody, of Courtney. It's a whole family gone. You know? Yeah. It's unbelievable. So we're gonna be here every chance we get. We're gonna be right here for our son because he cannot be here. They love their daughter.
Absolutely.
And we're gonna be here. Won't we?
Yes, we'll be here.
How would you like the community to remember your loved ones?
Matthew was a good father.
He was a good boy.
He was a good brother. He was a damn good son.
And they loved their baby.
Absolutely.
They loved their baby. The whole family loved each other. That's the thing that people were forgetting.
Yeah.
We all loved each other, and nobody... It's just a really bad situation. We want everybody to remember Matthew. Everybody knows Matthew. Matthew grew up right there on that hill, running those streets in our county.
Yep.
Never been in no trouble, no nothing. And they need to keep that in mind and stop focusing so much on the morbid aspect of it. Because Matthew has siblings that are young that can Google all this. And
yeah. Internet's forever.
Exactly. And people need to understand that there's children, there's minors involved in this. And that as a family, we're just broken. Right?
Yes.
I just don't know. I don't know how to explain it.
Right.
So,
who is caring for the little girl right now?
She's in protective custody.
Today in court, Drummond had to sit there as the judge read off the charges that he is facing, including reading off the names of his alleged victims.
Mr. Drummond, we are here this morning to arraign you on these charges. It's my responsibility to notify you of them and what you were charged with. First charge this morning that you have before the court is 1 count of first-degree murder. It's alleged that on 29th of July, Mr. Braden Williams was located deceased from apparent gunshot wounds on Carrington Road in Tiptonville in Lake County, Tennessee. During the course of the investigation, it was determined that Mr. Drummond did with premeditation knowingly and intentionally kill Mr. Braden Keith Williams with the use of a firearm. It's alleged he did commit this offense also while being in possession of a firearm after being convicted of a felony, being aggravated robbery in Madison County, Tennessee. He has one count, therefore, of first-degree murder and unlawful possession of a firearm. Second charge you have, sir, is first-degree murder and one other count of unlawful possession of a firearm. It's alleged during the course of investigation that a James Wilson was located deceased from apparent gunshot wounds in Lake County, Tennessee on Carrington Road. It was determined that you with premeditation knowingly and intentionally killed Mr. Wilson with the use of a firearm. It's also alleged, based on the same facts or circumstances, that you are a convicted felon out of Madison County. In addition to that, sir, you also have one count of first-degree murder and unlawful possession of a weapon. It's alleged that during the course of investigation, officers determined that Mr. Drummond, with premeditation, knowingly and intentionally killed Miss Adriana Williams in Lake County, Tennessee, on Carrington Road. She was discovered from an apparent gunshot wound, deceased. In addition to that, he also is a convicted felon out of Madison County, Tennessee. You also, sir, have one count of first-degree murder and an additional unlawful possession of a weapon. It's alleged during the course of the investigation, officers determined that you did with premeditation knowingly, intentionally kill Miss Courtney Rose with the use of a firearm. She was discovered deceased from apparent gunshot wounds on Carrington Road in Lake County, Tennessee. It's alleged, in addition to that, sir, as previously stated, you are a convicted felon allegedly from the county of Madison in Tennessee.
The judge also mentioned the charges related to the abandoned baby.
In addition to that, finally, he has one count of aggravated kidnapping and a possession of a firearm during the commission of a dangerous felony. It's alleged that all of the victims in the case that previously were mentioned were located deceased from apparent gunshot wounds on the same date. A minor child with the date of birth 12/12/2024 with the initials WW was discovered left in the front of a residence in Dyer County, Tennessee. States that Mr. Drummond committed the offense of aggravated kidnapping by false imprisonment, which was committed to facilitate the commission of a felony or flight. It's alleged he committed this offense also possessing a firearm during the commission of said dangerous felony. When he possessed a firearm, he therefore has those counts. General Goodman, is the state moving forward with felony charges in this matter?
Yes, Your Honor, we are.
Mr. Drummond, I'm going to enter a not guilty plea for you at this time on your behalf, being that you do not have counsel appointed or retained to represent you. Are you going to be able to hire an attorney, sir, to represent you, or will you need me to ask you questions about your finances to appoint you an attorney?
I'm not going to be able to hire an attorney.
Okay. The judge then asked Drummond about his financial situation, and what we didn't expect is that Drummond says he has a LLC for his business that entertains children with reptiles.
Mr. Drummond, prior to being taken in on these charges, sir, were you working anywhere?
I have a business, inflatable run business, kids parties, reptile shows, decorations, something like that.
So you were self-employed, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Now this is what I'm going to ask you, sir. Obviously, that may vary depending on how much business you generate monthly. If you could estimate for me what your monthly income would be from that business.
It was in there, but it was around $46,000 a month.
Okay.
This is a man who allegedly executed 4 people, and yet he said he was going to entertain children for a living, which we just find wild. The judge decided, since Drummond apparently has no money or not a lot of money, he will get a court-appointed attorney. The state was then asked about bond conditions.
General, does the state wish to be heard on bond at this time?
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, at this time, the state intends to seek the death penalty. This is a capital case. We're asking that he be held without bond. In addition to that, he has a bond out of circuit court. We have filed motions to revoke those bonds. That will be heard later in the month of August in circuit court.
The judge denied Drummond bond. The suspect was out on bond at the time he committed the alleged murders because he is also currently facing attempted murder charges. That was related to an incident that happened in prison before he was released in September of last year. But the bond in that case has now been revoked. The prosecutor also asked the judge for there to be restraining orders in place, so in any case Drummond actually would get out of jail, he wouldn't be allowed to be near the families of his alleged victims. Even though Drummond appeared somewhat soft-spoken in court today, it's important to see what he looked like when he was on the run for 7 days. This is the surveillance video that police in Jackson, Tennessee released showing him trying to get into a church through the night, but the door was locked. He was dressed in camo, and he had a rifle with a drum-shaped high-capacity magazine. It makes it somewhat surprising that he was taken into custody seemingly without incident. Police said that he didn't have a gun on him at the time of his arrest, and even though the manhunt for Austin Drummond stretched across state lines, it turns out that Drummond was not that far from where he spent much of his life in Jackson, Tennessee, which is northeast of Memphis. He was allegedly hiding out in an 800-square-foot luxury pool house. That's according to Memphis TV station Fox 13, which posted this picture. Eventually, Drummond was spotted by crews working on a home nearby. We spoke to the man who called 911. His name is Ricardo Contreras, and he said he and his team were working on a house and they just found it odd that someone would be walking through the woods with a manhunt going on. At what point did you know that it was Austin Drummond?
Well, I don't know how to explain, but I mean, it was like I had the feeling from the beginning that it was him because, yesterday I was in that area, and when I came out from that subdivision, I saw a police with a light, and when I came out to the street, they got already blocked all the intersection in the streets. So, and they've been working really hard all day yesterday, and I think part of the night, and they can't get him. So I knew it was him because, who else can be? But at some point I was like, oh no, I mean, I just make a big thing because police move really fast. And it was a helicopter, police officer everywhere, SWAT team, FBI, TVI. Everybody got there in a second. So, but something told me like it's him, and it was.
In another shocking part of our interview with Ricardo Contreras, he said that his wife actually went to elementary school with Austin Drummond.
I was the first on the family that saw the news, and I talked to her like, look at this. This has just happened close to Jackson. And she was like, she was in shock because she said, I went to school with him, like elementary school. He went to St. Mary's Catholic Church for a few years. And that's what I know because my wife told me that. And appeared like he was a good guy, but he took a wrong decision on his life probably.
At the time of Drummond's arrest, there was a reward of more than $37,000 for information that would help in the case. Police say that it will likely be split up between multiple people who helped in the search. In another surprising part of this court hearing, as it was wrapping up this morning, Austin Drummond piped in and asked the judge this question. Listen.
Mr. Drummond, I'm going to continue your case to August the 14th, sir, at 9 a.m. Mr. Huffman will be in contact with you prior to that to go over your case, and he will be able to hopefully answer any questions that he has for you, sir, okay? Or that you have for him. I apologize. We will see you back here then, okay?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, sir. As long as it's not related to the facts of your case or anything that could infringe on your Fifth Amendment rights, I'm fine with that, sir.
I'm just wondering, is now the time I need to ask her to look into your trial, or how's that work?
Well, now that I've appointed you counsel, any motions that will be filed will go through your attorney, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. All right, folks. The case is continued to August 14th at 9 o'clock.
It's unclear what that could mean for this case going forward and what it means about what Austin Drummond's defense could look like. Drummond's case isn't the only criminal proceeding related to the quadruple murder that he's accused of committing. There are 4 people right now facing charges for allegedly helping Drummond while he was on the run. Now, as far as the victims and that young baby girl that will grow up without her parents, her grandmother, her uncle, allegedly, because of Austin Drummond, there is a GoFundMe page that has the title, Support the Surviving Children and Family After Tragic Loss. It says that Courtney Rose, the maternal grandmother of that 7-month-old child, also had 2 other children, along with Adriana, that she leaves behind. As you saw before, we spoke with Ricardo Contreras this week. It was a really good conversation. We want you to see it again, so take a look. Walk us through, what happened this morning?
Okay, so we was working, painting outside of the house in that subdivision. And one of my guys, he told me like, hey, there is somebody back there walking in the middle of the wood. And I was like, somebody, I was like, it's that guy. Who else can be walking in the middle of the wood? Just him. And at some point, I was like, well, they asked me like, are you gonna call the police? And I was like, no, I'm not. I don't want to get in trouble with all this thing. But after 5 or 6 seconds, I was like, no, I had to do the right thing. I had to call the police. So I immediately called the police, and I told them about this guy, and they get there like in a second.
At what point did you know that it was Austin Drummond?
Well, I don't know how to explain, but it was like I had the feeling from the beginning that it was him because yesterday I was in that area, and when I came out from that subdivision, I saw a police with a light, and when I came out to the street, they got already blocked all the intersection in the streets. So and they've been working really hard. All day yesterday and I think part of the night, and they can't get him. So I knew it was him because who else can be? But at some point I was like, oh no, I just make a big thing because police move really fast. And it was a helicopter, police officer everywhere, SWAT team, FBI, TVI. Everybody got there in a second. So, but something told me like it's him, and it was.
What emotionally, knowing that you were looking at, he's accused of, as we know, like some really evil things. And to know that you and your team kind of had eyes on him, what was that like?
Well, you know what? I'm a Catholic Christian, and I believe in God and all that. And the feeling is, I think God have us on part of this plan. Let me tell you why. Because when I saw the police start coming from the other gate, I went back to open the gate, the back gate, which is only be open with a remote, and I had the remote. And when I got there, there was one police officer in the car, and she came in, and when she pulled the windows down, I immediately knew that she speaks Spanish. So when I saw that, I feel like it's this guy because I had no doubts, and I start speaking in Spanish with her, and I told her where he was and everything, and so like 15 or 20 minutes after that, somebody called me and tell me like it was him, they got him, and so it's amazing, and I think it's just it's like a it's like a God believer. I think it's just him which been doing all this.
What was that moment like for you when you were told that your gut to call police was right and that was him?
Well, that moment for me, it was I was nervous. I wasn't like I would say I was in shock because the first thing, I mean, after I called the police, I called one of my uh, customer or my boss who lives in that area, and I called him to lock all the doors and everything. And I was like, I was nervous, but believe it or not, I had like the feeling like that I need to be there helping to the police and SWAT team to get him because I was. It feels like you are with your hands tied on your back and you can do anything else. But they told me like go inside, and I went inside to the house. So it was. I mean, it just was like. I mean, I don't know. I don't have words to describe that moment, really.
Was there anything about him that stood out to you? Just from like, I mean, we've all seen the pictures, and he was, I know in Jackson, I mean, everybody knew who they were looking for, but to kind of in that moment actually see him.
Well, not really. If I be honest, um, I didn't realize that it was him until I start looking all the media, the social media, and people start texting to me, send me message and all that. But I realized that just that it was him right after probably like 30 minutes or 20 minutes after they caught him.
And I know we were talking before we started recording. Jackson, a small town in a lot of ways. I mean, I'm sure everybody knows everybody, and he was known to at least a member of your family. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, this is in a small town, and I had the opportunity to stay here since 2000, the end of 2011 or something like that. I met my wife right here in Jackson, and last week we went for a vacation to Florida, to Destin actually, and I was the first on the family that is out the news, and I talked to her like, look at this. This has just happened close to Jackson, and she was like, she was in shock because she said, I went to school with him, like elementary school. He went to St. Mary's Catholic Church for a few years. And that's what I know because my wife told me that. And appeared like he was a good guy, but he took a wrong decision on his life probably, and so I didn't know him particularly, but my wife did, and she was so sad about it. But after police got him, we feel better because he's gonna be joining for people here. But I hope he can think about all what he got done in the last few days. So, but no, I don't know him personally, but it's like I say, it's funny because my wife went to school with him.
I know that there was, as of today, the reward was more than $37,000 for information leading to his arrest. Have police said anything to you about how that could work out since you were the one? And I know members on your team as well who were part of spotting him, of how that could work out and whether you guys would get that
Well,
money.
well, you know what? I just had the opportunity to talk with someone who's a U.S. Marshal something. Um, he told me something about that, but to be honest with you, at this point, I don't know about anything about the reward. I just got the feeling that I did the right thing, and if that is true, and if they keep that word or whatever, I assume they're gonna call me or something. But I didn't make any call about asking about the reward or anything. Um, I think at this point is more important. I mean, it's more important for me that I am with my family. I'm okay, and I got all those messages from people that they've been telling me thank you, and tell me all that kind of like kind and nice stuff. So I don't know about that yet. So it just happened this morning. I don't know if that's gonna be a um, you know possible or not, or they're gonna make it happen. But it's all in their hand right now.
And I understand after all of this happened, you continued to work today. You worked a full
Well,
day.
actually, right after they got him, I took my truck and I came out, and the lady who owns the house we've been working, she came out and said, "Hey, wait a minute! They need to know you are the one that you called the police." Because at that moment, the most important thing to me is I take my truck, hook the trailer, get all the materials that I need to get the work or the jobs that I need to get done. And so there was somebody right there who took the video and everything. And but yeah, I mean, I've been working the whole day today.
Wow. I think a lot of us, after having such an eventful start to the day, might take the rest of the day off. And you kept going. I mean, the video that was first posted with, kind of that initial interview you gave, and your name is now kind of across the internet of people thanking you for being the one who called the police. What is it like at this point with how many people are reaching out to you and all the people that are really thanking you for kind of trusting your gut and making that phone call?
Well, there's a lot of people that has been texting me by Facebook, personal phone. A lot of people, and there is few of them that they just kind of like tell me like, be careful. They probably coming for you because he was a part of a game and all that. But you know what? I'm not as scared about that because I was involved in something like this before. Like 5 years ago, I got stolen from somebody pointed me with a gun here in Jackson area, and believe it or not, I chased the people, and I found it. I found where they live, and I called the police, and they got them. And it was a gang who used to do. The target for that gang was Latin people, Latin community, because what the police officer tell me was like, uh, because we are Latin, they know we're not gonna call the police or we're not gonna do anything, and so I mean, take advantage of all that. So that happened to me 5 years ago, and I chased them. Like I say, I found it, and they are in jail right now. And so I'm kind of like, I'm not really afraid about that, but it's still, about I got two kids and my wife, so that's the only concern, probably, and the fact that all everything is like all this happened around the Spanish community, with immigrants and all that. I just want to say we're not like, we're not bad people. I don't say probably there is few, that is making some trouble, but like in my personal life and testimony, I would say I came here to work hard, to work really hard, and to make this country better. This country is already great, and I just working to make this country, a lot better. I love this country. It's my house. It's my house. I can tell this is my house. So I'm gonna do whatever I need to do to keep this country in a good shape, and my Spanish community too.
Well, that's just, so well put. And, to think of the story of the past of what you went through 5 years ago, and then this time, I mean, to just be the person who's unafraid and called the police and did the right thing. I know you were on vacation in Florida for kind of the beginning of when this manhunt started, but even today, getting up, going to work, knowing the danger was out there. I'm sure you saw the surveillance video where he had like a gun and he was trying to get into a church. I mean, what has it been like to be in Jackson, Tennessee over the last several days as this manhunt was going on?
Well, I think everybody was scared around the Jackson area, especially in that area when he been all these couple days. Uh, my kids, they are 6 and 4 years old. They don't have access to social media unless they hear people talking about that. And it was funny because yesterday I was like we have on our work we have a kind of like a group message and all that, and I was telling them like let's get our flashlights or headlights and let's get that bad guy, and nobody answered. And so that last night my oldest the last 4 nights they've been, I mean, the last 3 nights they've been sleeping with us, and they was scared, and we are kind of like far away from that area, and I can imagine all those people who lives around that was really scared because the last thing that I know it was that he's been sleeping in a pool house in that
Yeah.
area, and so do you see like can you imagine? I mean, I can't imagine how the people. I mean, all that people is being scared and is being kind of like thinking about they are in a risk or something like that. So everyone who's texting me now, they telling me like they can sleep better tonight.
What does that mean to you, knowing that so many people in Jackson tonight are going to sleep? There's that kind of sigh of relief knowing that he's no longer walking the streets as he
Oh, it's
was.
mean a lot. Yeah, it's mean a lot because it made me feel like I've been part of something huge. Because you can't realize how big all this thing over here in Jackson until you got in there, and I mean it's mean a lot. It made me feel proud of myself, and it made me feel like I did something good for my all the community here in Jackson.
Well, Ricardo Contreras, thank you for making that phone call this morning. It's an honor to speak to you. I know so many people in Jackson are so thankful you made that phone call as well. Thank you for joining us on Law&Crime. We appreciate it.
No, thank you for everything, and I appreciate it.
From a case perspective, as you heard in that hearing, Austin Drummond is next expected to be in court on August 14th. He will be represented by a public defender, and the judge today put in a not guilty plea on his behalf. That will do it for On the Case, presented by Law&Crime. Subscribe to us on YouTube and Spotify. I'm Chris Stewart. We'll see you next time.